Ladies and gentlemen, yo, this is the one and only Ciph Sounds, and I'm back with another episode of Behind the Board.
Take it from the top. 1, 2.
Look at that foul ass 808 right there, son.
Behind the Boards exclusively on Shade 45.
Yeah, well, let's skip the build-up. Get down to the main event.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the one and only Ciph Sounds, Shade 45. It's another edition of my favorite show, even though we only had one so far, but it was a classic. It was a hit. We call this Behind the Boards. And today, well, you're already ad-libbing it, so they already know who the fuck you are. As you can hear,
what up?
The one and only. Today's the day, Pete. I'm gonna call you some names.
Yeah, okay.
Like the legendary producer.
Okay, I'll take that.
The childhood hero.
I'll take that.
DJ, producer,
Aight.
Rapper extraordinaire on all different types of level.
No doubt.
Hip hop phenom.
All right.
Pete Rock is here.
No doubt. Peace.
Applause and claps and everybody whistles. Yeah. This is nice, man. I know Pete Rock for a while.
No doubt. For a minute, man.
Ran past you a couple times in the game, but I don't like to sweat nobody.
No, that's cool, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Because you do what you do. It's your art, and it's also your job.
My job.
And I say I'm a fan. How you doing? Nice to meet you. I'm a big fan. I don't want to dick ride too much. You know what I'm saying? Because for the most part, it might be annoying to people.
Nah, well, it depends on who you are.
It could get annoying.
Yeah, it could get annoying. It depends.
But I have the ability. I have Pete Rock knowledge.
Okay.
And I could take it to way different levels.
All right, no doubt.
But if I see you on the street, or if I see you somewhere, social at a club or a party, or
chilling.
I saw you at my man Cardinal Official's party up in Toronto, and we just kicked it for a little while. But I could get crazy.
Yeah.
So me and my boy Reef at Shade 45 developed this show where we could actually get into some things.
All right, no doubt.
So
all right.
Real quick, let's talk right now. Pete Rock.
What up?
We're doing Behind the Boards here, Shade 45, Ciph Sounds.
Peace.
Pete Rock is here. What is this I have in my hand? What is this?
This is an album I put out in February. Came out February 26th. New York's Finest. It's just basically, me still doing what I'm doing,
This is a Pete Rock album. You're rapping on here.
Yeah, I'm rapping on there.
Plus you have tons of guest appearances.
Yeah, some guests on there. It's one of those things.
This is the album that you're talking about that's taking you to Japan?
Yeah.
Next
basically,
week?
Yep.
It's one of my favorite places to go.
Yeah, man. I love it. I can't wait.
All right, so let's get into this, Pete.
Okay.
I got lots to talk about with you.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you a story real quick. All I wanted to do was be a producer. I grew up listening to you, Premier, a couple other producers that I thought you had to know how to DJ to produce. I thought you had to know how to scratch hooks to produce records. So I taught myself how to DJ, but I didn't want to be a DJ.
Well, you didn't.
I wanted to be just a producer. But I was like, okay, I guess you have to be a DJ to be a producer to get the cuts and the hooks and all that.
To be accurate with everything. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be a DJ first.
I didn't know. And then this DJ shit took off and my production shit sucks now. But anyway, so we take it back, man. I want to take it back to the beginning.
All right.
You as a DJ, give me the quick rundown how you came up. DJ game, like.
DJ game, it started with my cousin, you know what I'm saying, Floyd, back in, like 83.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? That's Heavy D's brother, you know what I'm saying? That's family. So we was all, they had started
Heavy
a little
D's your cousin, correct?
Yeah.
Because he's much light skinned.
Yeah, I know. But, there's always that odd black person in your family. But anyway, so we formed a little crew called Classy Rock Crew. It was basically the grown-ups did, and I was the little guy. And, I was just learning and stuff like that. And, just had fun, started having fun with it. The first record I ever scratched was the Freedom. And I was learning how to cut that. I was like 7 years old.
Oh, okay.
And I was trying to scratch that and trying to perfect DJing and learning how to be on time and timing, so forth.
You was around it because your family was into it.
Yeah, my pops was already a record collector, DJ / you know what I mean? So with that said, and being as they were musically inclined in the family too, so that mixed together.
Yeah.
And I just kept at it, kept DJing, kept trying to, and then I started getting better. You know what I'm saying? So once
Did you do parties and all that when you was younger?
I started doing parties. My high school. I started in high school.
Mount Vernon?
Yeah.
That's where you
ninth
grew
grade.
up?
Yeah. Ninth grade, and I started doing the little parties. You know what I'm saying? And then around the hood, because Eddie F was doing the parties first in the hood, and then I was, house parties, so forth.
Right.
And then I started like I got lucky, and Hev got his record deal. You know, Mr. Big Stuff album and stuff, Living Large album.
How much older is Heavy than you?
3 years.
Oh, okay, that's not even much.
Yeah. No.
So he got a record deal. So what, he was 19, 20?
Yeah.
So you was like 16, 17?
Yeah.
Did you DJ'd for him? No, Eddie F DJ'd for him.
Yeah, Eddie F.
That's
DJ
a stupid question. Why did I even say that?
Nah, Eddie F was the DJ, and basically we was all like, I used to go to Eddie F's crib to practice a lot. You know what I'm saying? And he had the equipment and stuff like that, and I used to play with the drum machines he had. And one day he left me with the SP. You know what I'm saying? But to continue as a DJ, first, I had got a radio station job.
That's Marley?
Yeah.
Okay, so how did that come about? Because not everybody could just meet Marley Marl and get all of a sudden DJ on the... That
came through Heavy D, you know what I'm saying? And, he was working with Hev at the time, and he brought me with him to the studio. And at the time, it was great timing because he needed a DJ to fill in because, Kevy Kev was his current DJ, and then he had gotten into a car accident. And this was my chance to prove, what I was trying to do. So Hev was bragging about me, saying, "Yo, my cousin, he's real hot, man. He's hot. Try him out." And he did. And, next thing you know, I stuck with Marley. Marley kept me.
WBLS.
Yeah, and I thank Marley for that. You know what I'm saying? Without that, I probably wouldn't have got my name known as fast.
Now, that was before Clark Kent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, how did you start getting into making beats? Was it around the same time?
Yeah, just being in Marley's crib, Hev bringing me to sessions and stuff, and being at Eddie F's house and all that in one. Meeting Teddy Riley, and I was only like 16. That right there just inspired me to want to be behind the scenes and do the music thing. You know what I'm saying? What's
the first equipment you purchased or you worked on?
Well, I didn't purchase it. It was given to me. It was given, and I was fortunate enough to have that and learn how to play with it. And once I got it, I didn't want to do anything else but try to learn how to use it. You know what I'm saying? So, people, my friends, nobody couldn't really find me because I was always in the crib. You know what I'm saying?
Chopping beats,
messing with that.
So you got a sampler for free.
Yeah.
Your dad had the ill record collection that we see in all the pictures in the basement.
Mm-hmm. Turntables too. I didn't pay for. Because
you're a lucky fucking bastard. Man. This shit just worked out.
Yo, it was Heavy D, Eddie F. He had extra stuff laying around. So.
Shit. All right. So what's the first record you worked on? That did a beat for?
A group called Groove Be Chill. You know what I'm saying? But I was doing co-production for Hev, just my ideas. I was doing pause button tapes and letting them hear the beats and stuff. And then that. So
you kind of produced on Heavy D album.
Yeah, but not really. No, not co-produced. Not till the second and third and fourth album.
Right.
Third album, I started getting producer credit.
Right.
Because at that time, I started perfecting the beats.
Right. All right. Well, let's get into that. Is that Don't Curse?
Yeah.
Is that the first record you did?
No, that's not the first record. Don't Curse is
it's one with all the rappers on it and they don't say bad words.
Yeah, that was the first. Yep.
On it as CL Smooth, Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap,
Grand
Poobah.
Yeah.
Who's also your cousin?
No, that's CL's cousin.
Oh, CL's cousin.
Yeah.
I knew that. Why the fuck am I fucking up today? So let's get into that. Let's get into Heavy D. Don't Curse, 1991.
Yeah, 1991.
Wow. Yeah. How old were you when you made that record?
I think I was 17.
What?
Yeah. And that's when I started realizing, how to put certain stuff together with the drum machine and linking, tuning certain sounds together.
Yeah. Because you took a lot of different pieces from different records and made.
Yeah, and tuned it.
One song, yeah. All right, so let me get into where you confused everybody. Pete Rock and CL Smooth, the creator. You're the DJ and the producer. CL Smooth is the rapper. but he's cutting and scratching in
Yeah,
the
we
video,
just did
and
that.
you're rapping.
Yeah, that was just for the video. That wasn't.
Oh, he don't
on the
actually
record.
cut?
No. Mm-mm.
CL don't
scratch.
cut?
He don't scratch.
It looks like he cuts in the video.
Yeah, I know. He made it look good.
So all right, so he's not. So, but why is that the first record, Pete Rock and CL Smooth? Why are you rapping on it?
On
not
the
CL?
creator, I don't know. I, at the time, I was, Grand Poob and them cats used to come to our sessions and be hanging out with us and drinking, smoking, doing whatever. And Poob one day was like, "Yo, trying to get me to rhyme." You know what I'm saying? And I was like, "Nah, man, I don't do that. I don't." And he's like, "Come on, man, come on," and gassing me and playing games and stuff. And then I tried it.
What
he had
studio
wrote
is that?
something.
What studio is that?
Green Street.
He was in Green Street.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he wrote it for me. You know what I'm saying?
He wrote the whole record.
the whole record. And he's
Time
like,
to
I want you
dip,
to
dip.
yeah.
Might take it.
yeah.
Pooh Bah
He did
wrote
it.
all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
But and then I just recited it, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't know it was gonna turn out to be what it was.
Smash.
Yeah. I think it was the beat that really grasped people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but was that the first record you put out with CL?
Nah. Mecca and the Soul Brother. We was
Mecca
doing
and Soul
Good
Brother before
Life.
that. Oh yeah,
that was
yeah,
just
Good
amongst one of the
Right.
joints we did.
So let's play that now so that people can hear it. The Creator. This is also 1991.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite records of all time. 117 BPM.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Pete Rock, how'd you meet CL Smooth? How did y'all get together?
High school. That was in high school, A friend of mine introduced me to him. You know what I'm saying? And that was it. We just started working together. Came over to the crib one day because my man was like, "Yo, you got to hear this cat. He don't sound like nobody." And then that's how it happened. We just started.
It's very as a DJ growing up, it's dope to especially Pete Rock and CL Smooth because the DJ's name is first, and it's definitely a group associated and built around a DJ like Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five and Africa Bambaataa. Like,
see, it was done before us. You know what I'm saying? So
they don't respect the DJs like they used to. Don't get it twizzy.
you know what I'm saying?
Who's
It is
T.I.'s
what it is.
DJ? You don't know. Nobody knows. So it's Pete Rock, CL Smooth. You get a record deal. How'd you get the deal? You
Through
playing
the demos we was doing in my
Straight demos.
basement. Yep, we was doing demos in the basement, and then took them to Eddie F. Eddie F. made some moves. We started going to major record labels, shopping it, and Elektra was like the last choice, and then they liked it.
That was Dante Ross? Was it Dante?
Nah, this guy named Raul Roach, but Dante was A&R in the project.
So we get into the big record, probably one of the biggest ones early on, the first smash, TROY,
Yep.
Troy.
Yeah.
Give me the rundown on that record.
Well, that was my man, you know what I'm saying, who passed maybe over 15, 20 years ago.
Trouble
And,
T-Roy.
Yeah. And good friend of the community, we all grew up together, so forth.
So he was Heavy D's dancer, right?
Yeah. And friend.
What happened to him?
He was on tour. I wasn't on the tour when it happened, but they were on tours, Kid and Play, Salt and Pepper, and they were playing somewhere. I think it was where they were performing at, and it was like 20 feet high, and they were playing, throwing empty garbage cans at each other. One of Kid and Play's people, and then Troy, and then he didn't realize how close he was to the ledge and fell
Oh
over.
man, are you serious?
Yeah.
So just like a straight accident, like
Well,
wow, that's crazy. So you make this record. How did making this record change, things for you as a producer? Because that horn comes on, that's a classic.
yeah, man. Yo,
And it can rock anywhere.
anywhere.
Everybody knows.
Yeah, I've been everywhere playing that record. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, it's amazing. Like, I thank God for giving me the strength and the courage to do that song, because I was like depressed when I made that. You know what I'm saying? So,
But did a lot of people holler at you? Because this song is not really. It's an upbeat song. Like it's not like it doesn't sound like a dark.
nah, it's not dark. It's
Sad
just
song,
like, but reminisce, meaning you think about people that were close to you, that you loved in your life. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of did it in that
This
vein.
is the era now where people are hollering at you for a lot for beats in this time.
Yeah, Yeah, I was at the peak of
Like,
everything.
I'm looking at that era. You had a lot of records.
Remixes, records.
House of Pain, Jump Around, Shut 'Em Down, Das Effects, Just a Man. Heavy horns. Used a lot of horns.
Liked it. I liked it. Loved using horns back then. Nobody really did it a lot.
Nah, you took like mad different pieces and put them together. Let me ask you about a record real quick. Adore. Let It All Hang Out. Who the fuck is this guy? How did this guy get this record?
Went to high school with this kid. You know what I'm saying?
But that's a classic beat, a classic record. And then
Yo, he was just somebody Eddie F believed in. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I didn't believe him. I liked him too. You know what I'm saying? And I thought the record was dope. You know what I mean? And it was just one of those songs that was made that I didn't think would do what it did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, people liked it. Even now when I throw it on in the party.
It's crazy. But people sometimes don't even know who he is.
Yeah. They like, who is this kid? You know what I'm saying? But that record is old too. It's 1992. That was 1992.
Right in that same vein, because that record reminds me a lot of Straighten It Out.
Yep.
That's a Mecca and the Soul Brother album.
Yeah. That was
Debut
all in that
album.
same era, same time.
So you probably made all these beats like day after day after day. And whoever
I was
in.
making beats every day, like a lot a day. And then I used to, hang and dig with different producers, Large Professor, Tip, couple of other cats. You know what I'm saying?
As a DJ, I know the 12-inch. I know that 12-inch back and forth.
Rooftop.
You got the Straighten It Out song. Then you got the remix, which is basically harder drums.
Yeah,
little
just
bit,
a little,
like you tweaked it.
Yeah, just
You
played
tweaked
around with it. Yep.
And then there's a TROY remix on there. Completely different.
Jazz
type remix. Now, let me get into Pete Rock, the remixer, because I know now these beats is taking over the hip-hop industry. Everybody wants a Pete Rock beat. Give me a quick rundown, like Public Enemy, Shut 'Em Down.
What do you mean? Give you a rundown?
Well, how did you get that?
Okay.
How did you get to...
That was when I was signed to Untouchables production company. That was a company Eddie F formed, and was a bunch of producers like myself and another guy, Neville Hodge, Eddie F, Dave Hall, a couple other guys, and we, he would find us work. You know what I'm saying? And one of the, I guess from the heavy D work that I was doing, people were interested in getting me to do certain things, and like Def Jam, and would call and ask me to do certain things, and that's what they would do, just go and find work, you know what I'm saying, for the producers.
Okay, but I heard you made that beat in like 10 minutes before the meeting.
Yeah, like they asked for something, they needed something different and crazy, and I said, I just got the original version and listened to it, and I was like, I'm gonna do something ridiculous, you know what I'm saying, like memorable, you know what I mean, just something that people could say, yo.
So you just whip up classic hip-hop records, like, I'll just whip this up real quick.
Well, I guess the adrenaline at that time, it really happened like that. Like, I just heard a couple of ideas and said, look, let me try this with this, and then try these drums.
But that is one of the,
I'm
one
glad
of my
I
favorite
did
records.
that. I'm glad I did it because it matched his voice really well.
Definitely. What about, give me a little, how did the House of Pain Jump Around remix come about?
I think after I did Shut 'Em Down, a lot of other things just fell into place, and, it kind of just happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, people started calling.
Who did that beat? And then they say Pete Rock.
Yeah.
And then let me get something.
Let me get that Pete.
House of Pain remix. What about the J. Rue Damage, Can't Stop the Prophet?
Yeah, man. That was like in the Green Street days, That was during when Mecca and the Soul Brother came out. I think we had just got off tour when I did that remix.
You had the, what did you have, like the acapella? And you just put a beat to it, or?
Nah, actually, I just got the tempo of the beat, of Primo's beat.
Wow.
And just
94.
Yeah, and built right off of that. Built right off,
So you didn't even have the acapella, you just made something.
I just needed
different.
to know the speed of the beat.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy. One of my favorite remixes of all time, Das Effects, Just a Man.
Oh.
The Just a Man original version.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
But you got to realize at that time they were new and their rap style was different.
Absolutely.
And that which made the
I'm
beats.
a fan. I'm a fan of Das Effects' first album.
Yeah.
Just a Man. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Yeah. So,
But I need that.
the remix was basically
Hit me.
I was going hard in Green Street, just
That's the studio.
yeah.
So you were just in there just knocking out beats.
Yeah.
And one after there was artists just
I would
lined
make
up
a lot
outside.
at home though. I would make a lot of beats at home and go in there and just fatten them up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to you about your home studio in a minute.
All right.
Cause that picture, I studied it.
Which one? Oh, okay.
The back of the album,
Yeah.
or the
The
inside.
Mount Vernon picture.
All in the video, you shot videos in the basement.
Yeah.
I
Straighten
studied
it out. Straighten it out.
Study. I was like, what's that? What's
MTV raps came down.
Was that 950? Is that 950?
Yep.
Let's play Das Effects Justin Man remix.
Yeah.
Shade 45 behind the boards. Pete
Das Effects.
Cypher Sound, Shade 45. Pete Rock is here. We're doing behind the boards. In case you don't know what this is, we're getting in depth.
In depth with this production.
We try to do this with artists that kind of like cover the whole spectrum. DJ, produce, and rap. You know what I'm saying? The first one was with Eminem, who obviously does everything. Let's take it. We're gonna go down into 1993. I got something to ask you about this record, but you tell me about it first. Run DMC, Down with the King. These are like legends in the game, rap icons.
Yeah.
They want to get a record. That was a remix? No, that was a record. How did that work out?
Basically, getting a call from Russell and people at Def Jam, like really working side by side with Jam Master Jay and DMC and Run too. But like it took Run convincing to get on that track. You know what I'm
Really?
saying? Like D and Jay was with it. Like I was playing beats with them. They would pick certain ones they liked and put to the side, and then when I played them that one, they really appreciate it. Because actually, I made it from scratch in front of them. Because they already had beats that I made, so now they wanted to try something different and do it from scratch. And that's how.
And you had the King of Rock part or the beginning, like.
Nah, I just had the beat, the actual Hair soundtrack, and I used that and chopped it up.
Now you did a lot of scratches on all the records you produced. On that record, actually, Flex told me the story.
Okay.
Because wasn't Flex working at Profile Records?
Yeah.
The label Run DMC was signed to.
Yes.
He said that you had the record done, but you had to wait for Jam Master Jay to do the scratches.
Yeah.
So that's him doing the scratches.
No, that's
it is
me.
you.
Yeah. The king.
He fucked up?
The king.
He didn't do them in time?
The king. No. Before we used to practice in my basement. Like me and him was practicing DJing. I'm cutting Peter Piper and all that stuff, and we doing the round the world thing.
And Jam Master Jay.
Yeah, and it's on tape and everything. And
wow.
I'm trying to find this tape to this day.
Yeah, you need to find. You ever heard of YouTube?
It's crazy.
You're gonna want to throw that up there.
Yeah, well, you know what? Too, it may pop up because hopefully it pops up. I'm like, dang, I gotta find that.
It's somewhere.
I don't know, man. You know, it's between my mother's house and my house. It's crazy, but you know that song right there took a lot of convincing for Run. But
I'm gonna tell you,
he had
no. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You finish.
No, Run. He didn't want to do it.
He wasn't feeling the beat at first.
He wasn't sold.
Yeah, and then I don't know, one way or another, he got on it.
Made a classic record. Let's play that. When we come back, I'm gonna tell you why you're a piece of shit when it comes to this record. I'm gonna tell you. Watch. Shade 45 behind the board.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why you're a piece of shit, Pete.
Why?
And you're not the only person to do this. How come when your part of the record comes on, mad extra drum rolls? Nah, there's that. No.
That's to me. Listen to Sucker MCs when DMC comes in. What's going on? The scratching and him, that lyric he's spitting.
Right.
I'm DMC in the place to be. I went to John J.
Right.
It's like it's it's just getting you hype. So I just kind of did it in the '90s new fashion.
Nowhere else on that record, but in Sucker MCs there was scratches in other places. Nowhere else on that record does it go.
No, it don't.
Nowhere.
Not even the CL's version.
No.
No.
Not even CL. Your man. You sliced him on Down with the
And
King.
plus, it was the last record. It was the last person. I was the last guy on there, so something exciting had to happen before.
You're in the. I know what happened. You're in the studio. You're like, damn, this is my part right here. Hold up. Bring my sampler back up. You put extra shit in there. Timberland be doing that shit too.
Yeah, I did it like that. Fuck it. Nah, let me stop. But you know what I mean? It was just like, it was beautiful in the end, man. it ended off nicely.
I always wanted to tell you about that, man. You sliced your man in.
Everybody was good on that song.
1994.
Yeah.
Take it up. There's a lot of other records in between all these records we talking about.
Yeah, I know.
We got a CD Reef gave me yesterday of just rare Pete Rock remixes, like crazy records, man. I and we get to a lot.
Redman, whatever, man.
Nas,
World
Illmatic
Is
album,
Yours.
The World Is Yours. There's something here in New York City. We had this show called Video Music Box, and there was a special on Video Music Box where it had all the producers of Illmatic, Primo, Large Professor, Q-Tip, you. Did you already know about Nas before you made this record?
Yeah, through Large Professor when I was out there hanging out with him. You know, I met him through Large.
But he didn't have anything recorded, or he had some stuff.
I think he did Barbecue at that time.
Oh.
The Main Source album was
Right.
out. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, he started. He brought Nas to me and he came up to Mount Vernon, and you know that's when he started working on Illmatic. You know what I'm saying? And we got down there in the basement, started playing a couple of beats, came across that one, and he liked it. You know.
So people would come up to your crib in Mount Vernon?
Yeah, back in the day, yeah.
So you
Will
you had
Smith,
to be the ready.
Shaq, everybody. LL, Redman, Eric.
What was Nas like back then? How was it working
Humble.
with that guy?
Humble and just, you know, just intrigued by the rap world. You know what I'm saying? Wanting to be in the game and wanting certain things out of it. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, did you recorded that? Where'd you record that record?
I think
I'm
it
big into studios. I always like to know
Battery.
where shit was
I
recorded.
think Battery Studio.
Battery Studio.
Yeah, Battery.
Where anything crazy happened there? Like, was it? Nobody
Other
got
than
stabbed?
Primo,
anywhere?
nah, you know, never. Primo was hanging out in the session. You know, when I did the scratches and everything, he was there.
Now I want to ask you something. We're gonna get into your second album with Pete Rock and CL Smooth in a second.
Okay.
I always hear stories. You, Tip, Large Professor, Diamond D, Premier. Were y'all all really cool like that? Like
Yeah.
going beat digging for records?
Yeah, I can remember going with Large and Tip a lot. You know, not Tip more than Large. You know what I'm saying? But you know, sometimes Diamond, you know, will hang out, or I bump into him at a record convention or something. Or you know, Primo, not really. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he'll used to be in these little down low stores. You know.
You and
but
Premier.
we was all cool as far as friends and stuff.
Niggas
like
got
that.
into fist fights
Yeah.
between you and Premier.
Oh, word.
Nah, Premier's better. No, Pete Rock's better. They fought.
Yeah.
Like you ever, you know the line.
I believe that. I believe that.
You know the line Jay says, "Who's the illest, Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas?"
Yeah.
There were producer arguments that had the same.
There's probably
effect.
a lot more MC arguments than producer
Yeah,
arguments.
there's more MCs obviously
Cats
get
is
more
always
light,
riffing about who's best.
right? But
Yeah.
there's a lot of people like me who I'd be sitting in the car with DJ Riz or
Yeah,
Clark
yeah,
Kent or
yeah,
whatever, just
yeah.
arguing like,
Yeah.
nah this, nah that, this. And then like, cause like a lot, like I was saying, like you had like sometimes you would use a lot of the same samples as other people. I'm like, did
Yeah.
you know you had the same records?
Yeah.
Like you used Sister Nancy Bomb Bomb in
True.
the basement,
Yeah.
and Main Source used it in just hanging out.
It's just sometimes when we making beats, like we'll just play around with records and you hear something in your head real quick. Even though somebody used it, you'll be like, let me just see how it sound anyway. Like
Right.
that.
So you
And
didn't feel
end up-
nobody was biting or was any beef?
It ain't what you do, is how you do it. It's not what you use, it's how you use it.
Can't own no loops.
Yeah.
1994. Pete Rock and CL Smooth, second album. By this time, you're doing all types of records, producing, remixing.
Yeah.
Your first single, "I Gotta Love." How did that? Is that the
Come
first
together.
record y'all did, or?
For that album, I don't know if for that album if that was the first record, but it was something that a beat I made in the basement, and I had just came back from like a record convention somewhere in Texas or somewhere, and I had these boxes of records, and, you know, going through them, and came up with one of those like heavy bass line and soul records. You know what I mean?
1994.
Yeah.
The Main Ingredient album.
I gotta love that.
Let me ask you a question. Back then, because you was using tons of samples, were they clearance samples? Did you have sample clearance issues?
Yeah, we was.
everything.
Yeah, we had issues, but not at first. But after the stuff came out, we realized that we had to clear it.
Because now, pretty much clearing samples is a precedent, and people know how to do it. Back then, it was kind of like, how do you even approach it? Yeah,
nobody cared until Bismarck he got sued.
Did you ever get sued? You never got sued for anything.
No, thank God.
Yeah, knock on all types of wood. Knock on Formica.
Don't want
everything.
to. Nah, it's just like we know what we got to do with that. Especially for a group that everybody knows and people and they're still around and they know their music. You got to pay for it.
Man, because you had a lot of, because you would have like
Lou Rawls don't like hip hop. He said he don't like nobody's the same. He thinks sampling is ridiculous.
What artist is there? Anybody that loves when you sample that shit? You ever met
Elton John?
Elton John?
Yeah,
he loves it.
Yeah, he's like, go ahead, man, do what you got to do. He's like, go. He's legend, so you're gonna have to pay for it one way or another.
But it's not just the money. Like Prince
he
don't like nobody
care.
using.
He loves it. It's not like he's against it or anything like that. He's like he loves when people sample.
Wow, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. So I'm gonna get into a record now. I'm gonna take it up a little bit. 1996.
Mm-hmm.
This is a record that I just found out you did recently. Mm-hmm. Most people don't know you did this record. Common, The Bitch in You.
Yeah.
You produced that record.
Yeah.
That's the record where Common was going at Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Did you know he was gonna go at Ice Cube?
Yeah, because he told me like he was upset. He was Khan was upset. He was upset. Like, yo, he said he felt Ice Cube was trying to come at him in one of them records he did with
the West Side. Yeah.
And he's like, yo, Pete. Just one day he was in New York. We was hanging out. Went to my man's house. I made the beat over my man's house with his records. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and made it a classic. I just tuned it up when I got in the studio and added, just doper EQ.
Was that record? It wasn't even on the album, right?
Nah, it was just a single. Yeah,
12-inch.
It was just something that he wanted to get off his chest.
Let's play it now, man. Just in case you don't know, this is Common. Because a lot of times, people would say, shout you out in the beginning of the record, or you would be ad-libbing all throughout the whole record.
Yeah, but I felt like this is you.
He had something to say.
You have to be a man and just do you. Yeah. I didn't want to get on that. You know what I'm saying? But I think Cube was mad at me for a minute for that. I think he was mad at me for a minute.
Because you did the beat?
Yeah.
Can't own no
I don't
loops.
think, I'm not.
What you talking
That's
about?
That's the rumor. But you know what I'm saying?
But y'all cool now?
Yeah, we cool. I just was with him in tech. We was chilling.
Nice. Let's play it. Common, The Bitch in You, 1996. Behind the boards, Pete Rock producer. Are there a couple other joints that you could think of off the top of your head that people don't know you did?
Monica, the R&B joint.
Yeah, all Monica joints are R&B joints, Pete. Yeah.
Well, that Keisha Cole on the Just Like You album I did.
You did something for Keisha Cole?
Yeah. What, like remixes or what?
Like that, like the Common
record. A lot of
record.
remixes that didn't come out. Madonna, Mick Jagger, Michael Jackson.
Oh, they didn't come out though.
No, they just stuff that I was working on and people paid me for, but never really.
Is it? Premier was telling me sometimes it's almost
get free money, man.
It's almost like for every record you've ever done and put out, you probably got the same amount of records that never came out somewhere, like just loose.
I got
somewhere.
a lot of that stuff. I got a lot of
and
it.
you get paid
I
for
had
it.
stuff with Eric Sermon and Redman that we did. Brand Nubian. Niggas came over and was in my basement, man. We was getting busy.
Man, you probably got some
Bismarck.
Large Professor.
Large too.
Friend of yours?
Yep.
Because he's definitely a producer, rapper.
He was definitely one of the new cats back in like the late, like 89, 90, when he came with this single called Think. And then on the other side was called Adam. And then, came out with that Large Professor and then dropped the album. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you did a record with him.
Yeah, I did the Vamos Rapar on there, on the main source.
No, that's on the main source album.
Yeah.
You produced that?
No, he did the drums and everything. I just gave him the loop, like, and he did what he
That's the guy with the Spanish guy talking in the beginning?
Yeah.
Isn't it that one?
Yeah. Rappers
like a piano
do
loop.
their thing at the same time, but can't rhyme.
But there's a record. I'm talking about the rap world. You, Large Professor and Pete Rock.
Oh, the one off High School High sound.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was like, us just high off of what we was finding back in the days. coming together and doing music. I used to just go over there and we have jam sessions in his crib. Just
Nobody does that anymore.
I know. That was the fun. The fun of it just went away.
They don't do that anymore. Let me play the record now, man. This is off High School High soundtrack. What was High School High? A movie?
Yeah, it was a movie.
This for some reason that soundtrack had bangers on it.
Yeah. So did Who's the Man? So did Poetic Justice, Menace to Society.
There was another record out in that era.
Dangerous Ground.
It wasn't a soundtrack though. I think
The
it was
Fan with De Niro.
What's that record? It was like for AIDS or something, or
AIDS
America's Dying Slowly.
yeah, America's Dying Slowly. It was like a charity album, right?
Yeah.
Joints on there.
Yeah. Lost Boys joint I did, the Woo stuff.
The Yearn.
Yeah.
Was that on there? Yo, listen. Google The Yearn. Lost Boys and Pete Rock.
You know
I don't think we have it for this, but you'll definitely enjoy that. Yeah, listen. It's Behind the Boards. Yours truly, Ciph Sounds. Pete Rock is here.
I'm here.
Shade 45. Pete Rock and CL Smooth broke up. You only did 2 albums together.
Yeah.
No, well, 2.5.
EP, Mecca and the Soul Brother, Main Ingredient, split.
What happened? Why'd y'all split?
I don't really like telling the story. It's whack. It's just the actual things that make people ego, money, all kind of stuff.
All that shit.
Yeah.
Cypher, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, nobody cares about that. No.
Okay, I cared a little bit, but all right.
You
We go. So you got into your first solo album.
Soul Survivor.
First solo
with a
album.
bunch of guests. Loud signed me and stuff, and that's when I met Pun and Woo, and I was, we was all up there, Mobb Deep, everybody.
Records.
I used to play beats up there with Sean C, and it was fun up there, Loud, man.
Remember Fun? Remember Fun?
Yeah,
I mean, I was around.
Shout out to Steve Rifkin.
This Soul Survivor was in 98.
Yeah.
That's when I just got in the game. I was like an 18-year-old kid, just going to labels with DJ Riz from the Crooklyn Clan, just being happy to get a free.
It was fun, man.
-inch.
It was on the east side, the office. You know what I'm saying? Like, go up in there and just be in there doing whatever.
Now that was a dope album.
Yeah.
Just so you know, on some DJ shit, the single you had with True Master, who was on that?
Deck and Corrupt.
Right. On the clean version, at the very end of the song, there's like a scratch, a sample. It says a curse word.
Yeah.
I almost got fired because of that.
Oh, serious?
Yeah,
Oh,
there's a curse that you forgot to clean. So if I would have got fired off of that.
Oh man, you know what? That wasn't our fault. They used to make those mistakes, and we would give them the clean album and be like, "Yeah, it's all good, clean."
The whole song is clean,
And
but
then
there's
I would
loop.
listen back to it and be like, "Oh, was that a curse I just heard on the clean?" So that was their mistake.
This was before Pro Tools was really in the mix, so to do a clean edit was a mission.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you almost
He's
got
the
me
sharpest
fired.
motherfucker with the beats and the rhymes. Check it out now.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You almost got me fired. And I'm playing your shit. I'm trying to help you out. There's a record on there on that album, Soul Survivor. One of my favorite records. It's called Strange Fruit.
Oh, what? Tragedy.
Sticky Fingers,
dude. Hey,
Capadonna.
Seen Trage in a minute, but I know he's out there.
How you decide to put on? How did you decide who to put on what records and stuff?
I felt like that was a dark beat, so I felt like Sticky with his personality, and then I felt like Capo with the woo and everything, and Trage, man. Trage got that voice, that hip hop distinctive voice, and.
Did you know Trage from back in the day when he was fucking with Marley?
Yeah, when he was a little shorty.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a line Sticky Finger says in this when he says, "I'll shed so much blood."
Yo,
you
he's wildin'.
I was like, wow.
He drank a bottle of OE before he did that verse.
You had to. Pete, I'm gonna jump up a little bit. That record was from 1998, your first solo album.
Yep.
There's a lot of records that you did in between. AZ, Gimme Yours, Sadat X, Escape from New York, Rakim, The Saga Begins, Ghostface Killer, Be Easy, 2006.
Yep.
Some people call this the return of Pete Rock.
Well, you could call it that, whatever. I think I was always around, but at the time there was a time where I just kind of chilled off the scene and bounced back on Loud and then continued going. Just put out Soul Survivor 2 and then Peach Instrumentals, and then put out an album that was never released.
Right. It's definitely out there though.
It's out there now. Bootleg, was bootleg like crazy.
Bootleg crazy. Back then, like your first album, a lot of cassettes were bootleg. I know you, Brand Nubian, so many people sold more than what was actually noted because the bootleg cassettes were just running rampant.
Down on 125th. You seen them out there getting cake off that bootleg, man.
The fucking album credits were all scribbled on there and looking nasty, but they was buying them.
Yeah, they was getting.
They wanted it early. Give me the rundown of the Ghostface record, Ghostface Killer, Be Easy.
That was like, Def Jam just called me. I think I might have did a record for Redman at the time, and I kind of, he was doing his album. I think Ghost is People, because I was working with Wu a lot. You know what I'm saying, and they were all cool with me and everything. So, I think I was just sharing my music with them cats. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then the Be Easy thing came about, Def Jam called Ghost's manager. We cool, me and Mike, and he made it happen. And I just gave him a couple of beats. He did 5, 6 joints and used 3.
So now you're at a point where just people just know your name. Like you don't even have to go and stress people for beats. They just let's get something from Pete, right? Like,
but I still have a passion and love for it, so I'm always kind of, in people's faces still. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's behind the boards. Pete Rock is here, the one and only Ciph Sounds. I'm trying to break down your history, which is impossible
Slick Rick
to do.
too. Y'all forgot Slick Rick joints I did.
What?
Get a Job and it's off the Behind the Bars EP. I did like 6 records for Slick.
Did you do anything for Jay?
Jay-Z?
Yeah.
Never. Dying to.
I know a few times he's gotten beats from you.
Yeah. I sent him beats recently.
I heard.
I sent him some stuff recently. And I from what I heard, he did something. And in the magazine, they tend to misprint sometimes, but I read in the magazine he did a joint and it said produced by me. And I was like, and he called it No Regrets. But I would be ecstatic if he did that. But you can't jump for joy unless you really truly hear.
I've spoken with Jay and he always talks about a lot of your beats.
Okay, cool. I would love to get him on something. You know what I'm saying?
We move up.
Lord Sear,
what up?
What's up, bro?
Move up to
What up, bro?
What's up, man?
What up, my brother?
What it do, son?
Speaking of Lord Sear, we take it to Harlem.
Word, exactly. Let's go to Harlem.
Let's take it to Harlem.
Take it to Big Al. I'm gonna talk about the
what's Big Al?
The big picture.
No, I didn't. I wasn't even gonna say that, but let's talk about that.
All right, I did 2 joints on the big picture.
That he had passed away already? Or you did it with him?
Yeah, he passed away.
So you did it over acapellas?
Yeah.
No, the Harlem.
Me and L was cool. I used to go pick him up in Harlem. I had a Honda Accord, and I'd go pick him up and play him beat tapes.
Yeah.
In my cassette deck Alpine system in the whip, and we drive around Harlem all day playing beats. I'm telling you, I used to do that. Go pick him up right on 139 in Lenox.
What about let's get into the Jim Jones record though. Jim Jones, Max B, G's Up.
Yeah.
Crazy record.
Yeah.
How's it working with the artists, the
new artists
today? Yeah.
Dope, man. I mean, so far so good. There's a lot more egos than it was when we was rocking, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. It's rap world, man. It's crazy.
Do they sit and talk with you about old records and stuff like that? Like,
they're very respectful about, my work and things that I've done and how it made them feel and, stuff like that.
What did Jim Jones, did he reference any specific record?
I mean,
I used to fuck with this shit.
Yeah, he used to say certain things like reminisce and straighten it out, and when we had the whips, and they like that. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, that's what's up. Thanks.
That's crazy. You producing a record for Jim Jones. As many fans as Jim Jones has,
I know.
That makes him get a whole new world of fans.
Yep, a whole nother, people had their mixed views about it at first, us working together, but, it turned out good.
Real good.
And for me.
Let me get into this album right here. We mentioned earlier you got a new album out right now. It's called New York's Finest, Pete Rock. Just alone on the front here, I'm looking at it. It's got Papoose, Master Killer, Little Brother, Raekwon, Styles P, Jim Jones. And the one and only Redman.
Yeah,
There's a joint on here. Well, let me take it back though. Did you produce how to smoke a blunt,
Yeah,
how to roll a blunt?
roll a blunt. Yeah.
You made it. You
Yeah,
produced it.
Yeah, I made the beat. Period. He just came and got the disc from me. That's it. I gave him the SP disc. Yeah, go ahead.
So did you get credit for it?
Yeah.
It's on the album.
Co-producing credit.
Who's produced with it?
Whoever got the credit. You know, I get
You
it. I get paid for
serve?
it though. I got it. I got publishing on that.
How often those checks come in, P? I don't want to count your money,
No,
because there's a lot of records out there.
yeah.
Like to shut them down.
But remixes, you don't really get publishing. You can,
Yeah.
you can sometimes, but not all the time.
Pharrell put a stop to that.
Yeah.
Pharrell's like, no, you're gonna pay me
Yeah.
like a record because
Yeah,
I'm making
yeah,
a record.
yeah, exactly.
Because they used to say, well, the technical record company term remix meant back in the day to actually mix it, like
Yeah.
turn the bass up or do something, turn the drums down.
Yep.
Then the term remix and hip hop style became
I like that new Jay-Z joint he did.
new
too.
beat.
And
Which
I
one?
know. I
like that?
I like that.
Oh, the
beat.
Pharrell joint.
Yeah, I like that. Beat is hot.
In your album Redman, best believe.
Mm-hmm.
That's out right now, 2008.
Yeah.
Give me how that works out.
I did something on Red Gone Wild, and then he jumped on my album.
Which one did you do?
Did Give Me One.
That's a slept on album.
Yeah, that
That's a
album was
slept-on album.
Sick. Red Gone Wild.
Red has always made some joints.
Yeah.
So then he did this for you, best believe.
Yeah.
This is my favorite record on this album.
Oh, thanks.
Behind the Boards, Ciph Sounds, talking to the one and only legendary Pete Rock.
Peace.
What did I miss anything? Something that you had to mention, like a record that's one of your favorites.
Maybe the EPMD Rampage remix.
Rampage. That's on that CD I was telling you.
Yeah.
I got some rare Pete Rock remixes.
Yeah.
How many times did
Father MC. Y'all remember Father MC, right?
Father MC.
Yeah. Did a couple of joints for Father MC.
Biz Markie and Big Daddy Kane?
Jesse Powell. You remember him? He was an R&B artist on Motown.
No, I don't know that.
Did a remix for him that was pretty
Crazy?
decent. Yeah, it was decent. Maybe heard it on the radio once.
The record. What's the record called? With Kane and Biz.
Just rhyming with Biz.
How many times did you use that record?
Oh man, scratched it. It's just a funky record. You just say stuff in there that you just when you making beats and stuff and you're a DJ and you start cutting against your beat and it just sounds good.
But you cut so many lines from that song.
I know. I kind of went in on that record.
Yo, your copy of that record.
You know what I'm saying?
Fucked up.
I can't even find that. My original Prism label.
Shit.
Joint.
Pete
I know
Rock,
that.
man. Behind the Boards. Thank you so much, man. I mean, what else?
you.
What do you want to tell the people? How do they? What do they gotta
I'm
know?
about to go on tour in Japan.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming through, helping us out, man.
Yes, sir.
A lot of questions I always wanted to ask you. Got to do it today behind the boards. This is how we do, man. Ciph Sounds.
You forgot the UN too.
What's the UN?
It's a rap group I was working with. My man
UN?
Rock Marciano. Yeah, they was dope. They was like really dope.
Rock
underground.
Marciano that's signed to Busta now?
Yeah, he used to be with Busta.
I didn't know that. Shit, that's
Yeah,
what
man.
it is.
All right. See you later.
Rock.
Bye.
Yo, that's what it is, man. You can only find Behind the Boards exclusively right here on Shade 45.
Peace.
That's it for this week's show.
Behind the Boards, hosted by yours truly, Ciph Sounds.